1,000 million. 1,008.36 million.
1 billion, gajillion, fifillion, million. Yeah.
$1,008 million, and almost everybody was up in an uproar, and they were, what the heck? What are you talking about? What, $1,008 million? And they say, oh, he could have just, there's no such thing. I heard some people saying there's no such. Yeah, there is such a thing. There is something as 1,000 million, and a million. Yeah. And back in the day, the Brits would have said a million billion, meaning a billion, and the Americans would have said 1,000 million, meaning a billion as well. Now I think most persons in the world say 1,000 million, meaning a billion or a milliard or whatever it is. This hospital needs more work, I think, in my limited capacity. I think it needs more work than has been done in it. It's ridiculous. So it begs the question, when those in authority were visiting the hospital 3 years ago, and were saying to us, 5 years ago, because 2 years has passed, almost 2 years has passed since the last election. About 5 years ago, when they started telling us, this is the last year that the patients and the doctors and the nurses of St. Jude are going to be housed in the hospitalium, they were lying. Literally, don't take my word for it. Let's have a look. So here we're having a look at what is supposed to be the emergency entry of the hospital. This awkward kind of thingamajig, I'm not even sure how to describe it, is what is supposed to be the emergency entry. Look at the doorway. I mean, look at the doorway. First of all, it's awkward to even get to. Then look at the doorway. This is where the ambulance is supposed to be coming in and bringing in those persons who are deathly ill, perhaps fatally. This is where they're supposed to. This is the doorway. This makes no sense to me. So you're coming in with a gurney, perhaps for personnel coming through that door. And might I add, the entryway is not that wide. It's the plywood that you're seeing that's that wide. So think about it. This is what they're not telling us when they're telling us, oh, the hospital is in a sorry state. Oh, the hospital is not that bad. This is what we're looking. I'm giving you some sort of example of what this is inside of the hospital. This is what they're telling us is a year away from being done. This is what they're telling us 5 years ago, that, oh, we're almost done, we're almost there. This is the sorry state. This is it. And I'm standing there to show you the height, the width of the hallways, the height of the ceiling. This is what we're looking at. And they told us in 2013. This is when the first lie started. We're almost there. This is the last time. It was September. Look, I am not 6 feet tall. Far from it. Look at the height differential there, from my head to the top. So we now have to think about it. We have to think about it. We have to ask ourselves, do we just absorb everything that we're told? Do we just believe everything that we're told? Look, 2013, we were first told in September of 2013 that this would be the last Christmas that we would be spending at the hospitalium. We're in 2018. And in 2013, the works had not even gotten that far. But we were told in 2013, that was the first time we heard, that we are going to be out of the hospitalium and into this structure. I think we've seen enough. You know, when I listen to the Prime Minister in the budget presentation, and he's talked about the number of commissions, of inquiries, and number of investigations that were going to be conducted. I, for one, was like, what again? We just spent $1 million trying to figure out St. Jude, and we still have no answers. We're told that the commission is out, that the results are out. We don't know what the decision is. You know, like the what people say, we just chichivain. We don't know whether we're going to demolish. We don't know whether we're rebuilding. We don't know if we're going to be. And by the way, this hospital, this rebuilding, this renovation was only supposed to cost us $23 million. Only supposed to cost us $23 million. It has cost us in excess of $125 million. And I don't see for what. I don't see the reason. I don't see where $125 million went. Am I to think that in that $125 million is all of the cost for all of the equipment that is sitting somewhere in Florida or in Canada or wherever that we haven't seen, that the manufacturers and the suppliers are ready to come in and put in, but we don't have a building for them to put the equipment in? So back to the Prime Minister. So when I heard the Prime Minister say about all the investigations, I said, what, yet again? I'm not in for it. I'm not having any of it. But maybe we should. If only to pinpoint who were the persons responsible, who were the persons accountable. And I, for one, I am going to hold this government accountable. I'm going to hold them responsible. And why you may think they're only there for 2 years and they haven't built anything, whatever you saw there was done by previous administrations. I am going to hold them accountable because it is high time somebody is held responsible and accountable for this travesty.
I am trying to refrain myself from taking him on, Madam President, because for some reason he seems to be trying to lure me. He seems to be trying to lure me, but Madam President, I am not attracted to him, Madam President. I'm not attracted to him.
I don't care from what persuasion, but particularly those of you men who are in a position to wield control, to shape young minds, to determine whether young people grow up to be wholesome, productive human beings, and you violate in the worst way possible that trust and that care.
Morality? Oh, morality?
It's very angering. It's very...
We can't talk. Let's not bring morality here in this house, period.
Stop and think about what you did to that young person and how you changed her life forever. The trajectory of her life, how you changed that, how you changed her view of the world, how you changed her relations with other people.
Going around the island, I stopped in the south, and I met two young ladies, okay, came to have lunch by the beach. And they said to me, let me tell you something, man, don't listen to these guys, come quickly, come quickly.
And I know I said this was the last one, but I just want to squeeze a little bit more about that bomb hoax with those French nationals. Really, $500? There is nowhere else in the world that I could go and even just utter the word bomb. Not even if I was saying I have to make a bomb tonight, as in, in our vernacular. As in a bucket, not a bomb, like in a explosive, but a bucket, you know what I mean?